preparing for live stream. Okay, get ready with your questions and your partners, obviously. So Tahira, if that's okay for you to be the examiner first. And then
Okay, kindly allow me a few moments to ready my question, please.
You can actually start from 1 and then cue card and then part 3, because I'm gonna lock the session soon, so nobody can join us anymore.
Oh, wait.
Okay, please spell the name Alice or something. Just I'm not sure about the spelling. That's why I'm asking.
Alice.
Alice. Okay.
You know, like Alice in Wonderland. That's a movie, like a Disney movie. Alice in Wonderland.
Alice.
There are also
Okay.
many
Thank
songs.
you.
Many songs about Alice.
Okay. So, okay. Let me ask you about part 1 question. Are you ready, Alice?
Yes, Tahira.
Okay. What is the best way to stay healthy?
Okay, for me, in my personal opinion, to stay healthy is very important to us. You need to, I think, proper eating of organic food and also an exercise give us possibility for us to stay healthy. Eating of properly food like organic, like vegetable, and some proteins, carbohydrates, that you have to balance it so that the intake of this food will be nourished properly in your of your system. So when additional with this, if you do some exercise, the circulation of your blood will be helpful to keep you healthy and to keep you energetic and the whole day of if you are working or whatever you do. It's give you if it will help you to be more focused and concentrate in everything that you do.
Alice,
Great.
the question was part 1 question, I guess. Am I right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
so you can
about
give
one.
like 2-3 sentences.
Okay.
I know you have so many ideas, so you kind of like, okay, talk.
Okay.
But it's a practice,
Okay, yes.
because when you are in your real test, that's what's gonna happen. Your examiner will just cut you off and
Yes. They have
proceed.
said like that. You should have to be talkative and all, and they will cut you off.
Yeah.
So better to be cut off rather than to loosen
stop.
your I mean to stop and I will be blank. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So Tahira, just if you feel like the answer is too long, then you can just find a like, you can find like a gap, and then okay, you can say, okay, next question. You can say that.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So, do you think watching TV is waste of time?
I don't think so. I think watching TV for me personally is a way of relaxation, especially if you came from work and you feel exhausted. So it's time to relax and open your TV and watch.
Okay. Do you often go to the theater?
Very seldom, because I'm a working mom, and if you have this you're working as well as you have your work at home, your time is constrained. So if I have a free time, my son loves to watch, so I will go with him, but once in a while.
Okay. What kind of movies do you like best?
In my younger time, I like a romantic love story movie, but nowadays it depends on my son's lights. He's more on cartoons, Marvels. So I'll go for him just to accompany him and just to have a family banding.
Okay, thank you. This is all about your part one question. Are you interested to go for part two or cue cards?
Yeah. Okay. It is fine, Tahira, that I will ask you. It is fine, Miss Rita, that I will ask her
No
the
problem.
first part.
Of course, of
Sure,
course.
you can ask.
Whatever you like.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like the part three of mine is gone. Okay, Tahira, yes, thank you for your question. My question is about computer. Okay, it is difficult for you to use computer?
Uh, Absolutely not. In our everyday life, from work to study, I always used to use computer, and currently I'm sitting in front of my laptop screen as well.
Yes, thank you. How often do you use computer?
Basically, it becomes part and parcel of my life because I cannot spend a day without computer because if you have to say me, and then my job is completely on computer based. So as you know, every day I have to go to my job, and there is no alternative way than using a computer.
Yeah, thank you. What do you usually use for your computer for, beside from
Uh,
your job?
okay, it's an interesting question. Basically, I use computer apart from my job is for study purpose, especially IELTS practice, and mostly I use the social communication platform. Mostly on YouTube, I use my significant or major time for study purpose, and a little bit on Facebook, and some Google searches. It's very common, you know.
Okay. Yeah, last question, Tahira. Do you think computer have changed your life?
Uh, Absolutely. Computer changed our life very drastically because if you see to the see to 10 years back, people were not basically used very used to with computer, but nowadays it's become an integral part of our life, so it has changed people's life.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tahira, for answering questions. Great.
You are welcome.
Okay. Now you can switch again. I don't know how you want it, but if Tahira wants to give Alice a cue card question, then go ahead and then switch again and then part three questions and then we are done.
Okay, Alice, could you prefer to write down the question, or I will give you a snap?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you can
screenshot
tell.
it and then I'll send it to Alice. Send it to me, I'll send it to Alice. You're not in the same group, I believe.
Oh,
So
sure. Please give me a moment, please.
Yeah. Describe a day.
I just sent it.
Okay. I'm waiting. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I got it. Now I'm going to forward it to Alice. Okay. I already forwarded it, Alice.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay. Describe your favorite subject in your academic life. In your bullet points, you should say, what is it? Why did you like it? Your experience of this subject, and explain why did you like it. 2 times. Why did you like it? Okay, you can set your timer, Tahira, for 1 minute
Yes.
preparation
Yes.
and
Obviously.
2 minutes. I'm gonna check my coffee and
Describe your favorite subject in academic life. Why should you say what is it? Science. Why did you like it? Your experience on these subjects.
you know what? I can put it on the screen. Let me see. Because I think you have to.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, let me. So 1 minute is not up yet.
Yes, just now.
Just now? Okay, you can start speaking now.
May start your timing for 2 minutes.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Today I'll be discussing about the subject that I like when I was in college. I would say that the subject that my favorite subject is science. Science because I love to study the human anatomy and the system and the organ and what are the function of each system and the organ, and even that I like also to further dissect what is in the body of the white blood cells and the red blood cells. Are what interests me most is what are the causes of if you are infected, if a person is infected by disease, what are those red cells or white cells that are affected to it. That is the most interesting part of why I have my interest in science. Now, this subject that I love, this time I'm applying it in my profession. That's why the when I graduated in high school, I took the Bachelor in Science and Medical Technologies because of my interest in anatomy and human biology. It's easy for me to 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 connect the interests of mine and the choices of the course that I choose. So nowadays I'm applying it at work. This all learnings that I got from when I was in college time. So
The time is
do you think
up.
it's enough? Okay, sorry.
You. Thank you. So maybe
So you
yes.
guys want to switch, or do you want, Alice, you want Tahira to continue with your part 3 questions?
Oh yeah.
You
You
want,
will continue, Tahira?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, please.
You can ask me.
I can ask you. Oh, okay. Okay, the second topic
cue card?
for
Yeah.
you, the cue card is, my question is, describe a day that describe a day out that didn't cost you a lot, what you did, when you did it, who you were with, and
Sorry.
why.
Could you be slow?
Okay,
Just
yes, yes,
I am not
yes.
down the key.
Okay, sorry.
No,
Okay,
it's okay. It's okay. Day out didn't cost you a lot, and bullet
yes.
points.
The bullet points are what you did, when you did it,
Then
who you were with. Lastly, why it didn't cost you a lot.
okay. You might set me timer for 1 minute.
Yes, I'll do.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Tahira. Okay, Tahira, it's okay now?
Okay.
Yes. You can start.
I would like to talk day out, which was in limited budget. Basically, it was a couple of months ago, and precisely, I want to say that maybe it would be 3 months ago, and the purpose was to go for some limited shopping, and because my necessity was not so high, that's why I went there with a limited budget, and it cost a little bit because I knew the place, and also knew where I would find the necessary goods, and one important point here is I went there with one of my friends who was actually very familiar with the place. That's why it took a less time, also with limited budget, and we went there very quickly and bought our necessary products. After that, we came back to our destination, and uh, the reason of the low cost day out was basically we knew the place, and our estimated budget was limited. Basically, for those reasons, um, it.
It's time out now. Thank you,
Okay.
Tahira.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Good answer.
Whose turn is it? Part 3 questions. I think Tahira will ask questions, part 3 questions, and then Alice, and then you switch.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, Elvis, I want to ask you part 3 question about tourism. Would you like to start?
It's okay about tourism.
Okay, the
Yeah.
question first question is, do you think the tourist industry is a good industry to work in for young people in your country?
Can you repeat the
Yes,
can you
sure.
revise the question? Work
Yes.
in tourism that work into our country?
Do you think the tourist industry is good industry
Work in.
to
Okay.
work in for young people in your country?
I do believe that tourism is very important in my country because tourism is connect other people to the to my country. You know, this also include that it will help our economic growth. It will add benefits to the fund of our country. And beside of connection of different country to our country, and at least we will get to know that a person who comes to our country, their culture, and we can introduce our culture to them, and it will give a unity to two different country. So I think it is important to and worth it to a young generation to open the tourism and welcoming whoever comes to our country.
Okay, good.
Should there be any restrictions on the travel business?
Nowadays, that's what is happening right now because of the pandemic effect. They should implement a restriction when it comes to PCR, not because of being restricted, not to bring or to trade any other equipment or any other things to come into our country, but to protect my country people. They should provide firstly to give the PCR whoever person bring the goods items inside the country, as well as some protocol in giving the disinfection to the foods or items that's come into the country. This is only not to offend, and I do understand that the other country who will come in will understand this protocol to my country, just to mitigate uh, the infection that's the pandemic that's happening right now.
Okay. This question is similar to the previous question, a little bit different maybe. The question is, should there be any restrictions on the tourism industry?
It's been a debate to, that is happening right now because of the pandemic that's going on even this time. But since the pandemic reduced the risk of transmitting diseases, I think nowadays they sh- they should open the tourism in different country. First and foremost, because it was the economic was affected to all the country, especially for example in my country, the Philippines. It's went down the economic rate into almost 15%, and it's difficult for us now to make it higher if we will continue close the tourism. So I think this is time for my country especially to open the tourism, not for anything else, but because also half or 75% of our countrymen are vaccinated and I'm sure that this will not affected by this will not be a cost of or a hindrance not to open the tourism, that it will help our economy.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
Yeah.
Alice. This is all about
Thank
your
you.
for three questions. Welcome.
Thank you, Tekla.
Okay. So we have Alice to be the examiner and what 3 questions for Tahira. And then after this, we can wrap up.
Okay, Tahira, my question is the continuation to the question from the topic 2, and it's about leisure. My first question is, how does technology affect the way people spend leisure time?
Basically, it's a contradictory question in some cases, but I want to say that if you see, if you back to 12 years back, at that period of time, basically people were not so engaged with technology, but right now people are going more engaged to the technology or digitalized world. Nowadays, people spend significant time for YouTubing, Facebooking, or some this kind of activities on social media. Mostly, the young generation are uh, more interested to spend their time than the physical activities or sports. They are more engaged in computer or online games. So I think the leisure pursuing leisure activities has been changed than the earlier time.
Okay, thank you. Do you think only old people have time for leisure?
Absolutely not. I think that leisure time for all kinds of people is necessary, but it may differ from people to people and for the as well for the age group. Um, uh, Maybe the way of spending leisure time about old people is a bit different from the younger ones. They might spend their leisure time by chit chat with their same age group or to visit to some places, something like this, basically.
Okay, what leisure activities do old and young people prefer?
It's a bit contradictory question according to their age. I think younger people uh, prefer to spend their leisure time to hang out with friends, shopping, and some thrilling activities like some exciting, for example, they would like to spend their leisure time to participate in different kinds of exciting sports like bungee jumping and skydiving, and this kind of thrilling events, whereas older people, uh, they don't like to be uh, engaged in more exciting activities like the younger ones. Maybe they prefer to roam around some, quiet places, natural sites, and for example, maybe they will prefer to go to the sea beach or some river bank or something like the real to the nature.
Yes. Last question, Tahira. How do people spend their leisure time in your country?
This is an interesting question. I'm in two minds about this question. There are different kinds of activities people prefer to spend their leisure time in our country. For example, I can say that at my leisure time, I prefer to do some uh, hangouts with my friends. Uh, on the other hand, maybe some people, those who are students, maybe they would go for another choice. And here is lots of diversity to spend the leisure activities, and I think it can vary from person to person.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good.
Hey,
You're
girls.
welcome.
Yeah, we have to wrap it up. I'll give you comments the next time we come in again. And for now, I have to say bye and thank you for joining
Thank
me.
you so much.
Okay. You did a good job, girls.
Thank
Keep
you,
Okay,
Tahira. Thank
goodbye.
you.